Welcome to VNA Health Highlights, a program of the Visiting Nurse Association of Cape Cod. I'm Jean Sarnowski, and on today's program, we're going to learn a little bit more about what exactly is an assisted living. And we're lucky to have with us today Maggie Corvo, thank you for being here, and Cynthia Davidson, both from Heritage at Falmouth. So I appreciate you making the ride because we're taping this in Yarmouth, no, Dennisport, so nice day.
It's a nice day.
Yeah. So for the viewers, I always like to give them sort of a intro version of each one of you. So tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been doing what you're doing? What maybe got you interested in this kind of work in the first place?
Well, I am the Ancillary Services Director to Heritage at Falmouth, and I've been involved in healthcare for over 25 years. And I have done skilled care, long-term care, I've done brain injury, and I've also now am doing the assisted living component of it, and I love it. It's just such a great environment for the seniors.
What got you interested in the first place? Were you always sort of a caregiver at heart?
Yes, I started out as a certified nurse's assistant, and then I just moved through the whole gamut of what you can do with the seniors, and I really feel compassionate about the seniors in the community and giving options of the aging process, where to live, how to pick that out, what to do for yourselves as far as a senior.
That's tricky business, it is.
It is,
yeah. Great,
yeah.
Thank you. What about you, Maggie?
Well, I've been in healthcare almost for 25 years. My family and I moved to the Cape about over 25 years ago, and I started working in a local physician's office. And I liked the medical component, and JML Care Center opened when I was new to working for the physician, and I was offered a position at JML. So from there, I loved long-term care, I loved working with seniors, and then Heritage came along, and it was just such a wonderful option for seniors, and I also fell in love with that component of senior living. So I went to work for Heritage, and I was the director of marketing for a few years, and I did the community outreach, and then I became the executive director, and so I've been at Heritage for almost 19 years now.
Wow, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
So you know it inside out.
I know inside out. I have been fortunate to see the birth of Heritage, the growth of Heritage, and all of the transitions, the changes we've had, and always have felt very proud of being able to be part of that option and that community. It's wonderful.
Wow. So when did it open?
It opened in 1995, and
almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So
Almost
you have an
20
anniversary
years.
coming up next year.
We have an anniversary.
Oh, will you be doing fun things?
We will,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, to celebrate, right.
Exactly. We have a wonderful staff, and we're excited about, where we are at and what we've done, and
Oh yeah, I bet.
it's great.
Yeah, it's a great facility. Yeah.
It's a wonderful facility.
Now I think there's some confusion, and even people that I talk to out in the community, of the difference between what is an assisted living, what's a skilled nursing facility, also known as nursing homes. We don't use that language anymore, I guess, right? Independent living. So where does assisted living fit into that mix?
Assisted living is, it's an in-between independent and skilled. In assisted living, a person moves in, they have an apartment, it's their home. They set it up with their own furniture, has a little kitchenette, two-top burner, refrigerator, freezer, but it's in a community where you can participate in activities, you have dining room services, and if you need to have someone care for you, you also have those services there too. A majority of the clients that move into Heritage at Falmouth, they're pretty independent, but as they're aging in place, there's services to tap into so that they can stay in their home.
So an independent living would have maybe a similar physical structure where you're in a building, a shared community of people, you maybe have a concierge, but there's no healthcare services.
Right, right.
So assisted living is sort of the next step up from that with some health care
Yep, we have
involved.
personal care attendants, we have nurses, we have the people there to take care of you if you need that.
If you need it.
Yep.
Do some people arrive at a point where they maybe don't need it or think that they don't, and
Most of the people.
with the vision of somewhere down the line I will, so I'm going to plan ahead?
Yep, most
Yeah.
of the people.
Is that right?
Most of the people that come to Heritage at Falmouth are fairly independent. They want to plan for the future, so they're looking at a community where they can come in, they drive, they have their vehicles. Some people travel back and forth to their place in Florida. It's
Oh,
really
yeah.
pretty independent, but as they age in place, they can stay at Heritage, and there's people there to help take care of them if they need it.
So people that maybe would be a homeowner now decide that this is too much for me, I don't want to mow the lawn anymore, or just in general go to the dump, all the things that go with
Yeah.
living in your own place. Are you the next step for a lot of those people?
We're the next step for those people because they can remain as independent as they want to be, drive, do whatever they want to do, but know that they don't have to move on as they start to age in place. They actually can stay at Heritage.
Yeah.
You know, in some communities you have to move on to another building.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so we're all inclusive into that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is nice.
It's nice.
Because moving's hard.
It's very hard as you get
Yeah.
older. The other thing that we offer is we have a nurse on staff 24/7, and that's not required. But we're a member of Cape Cod Healthcare. We're proud to be a member of Cape Cod Healthcare. In our community, that nurse is there to answer the smallest of questions. You know, sometimes you have a question about your medicine, you have a question about what's going on, and you have a licensed person to refer to, and she's there to answer
Oh,
that
yeah.
question.
So
it's
it's a
really
little
nice.
Safety net, feels
is.
safe for people.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, what about just the heritage itself? So I just want to get a feel for the facility itself, the size, apartments, how many people.
Heritage at Falmouth is smaller, it's intimate, and it gives you the opportunity as a resident to really become familiar with the staff. The family members know the staff really well. There's a lot of interaction. So you have that smaller, intimate community feel. You will not get lost in the shuffle. And that's a unique feature of Heritage. Our size, we have 56 apartments. And we do have married couples.
Oh, nice.
So we can have up to, 6, 7 married couples. And my career there, at one point, we had 8 married couples. So
Nice.
that's a lot of
Yeah.
people, a wonderful community. The community is just fabulous. The location is tremendous. The landscaping is incredible.
Beautiful. It is
it's
beautiful.
mature.
Yeah.
We've been there almost 20 years. So it's all, again, it's just mature. It's inviting. It's
Right.
private. We're on the healthcare campus, but if you look around, you wouldn't know. You would think you're in the middle of, the mountains.
Right. So it's good for people to know that maybe are unfamiliar with Falmouth. If they have a sense of where Falmouth Hospital is, you're part of that
Yeah.
geography right there.
Yeah, and that's a wonderful asset. If you need the hospital, it's a minute away.
Right.
The physician's office, Bramblebush Park, is right around the corner. So the convenience of residents going to their doctor's appointments, accessing Falmouth Hospital, accessing the VNA, it's all on that campus, and it's tremendous. The community itself is beautiful. It's like an old Cape Cod building, lots of porches. The outside is inviting, so in the wonderful weather, we have availability for people to congregate on the porches. We have a beautiful backyard with a walking trail, lots of places for people to just be interested, sit if you get a little tired. Your family visiting, you on a beautiful day go outside. There are 2 gazebos. We have fish ponds. It's just very inviting, and the grandkids. We have a playground that
really?
we put in, and
Wow.
so it's you want the life to continue for the people who come live in an
Sure.
assisted living community. It's life, it's living, it's making it an enjoyable place to live, not just for the people who live there, but the families to visit. And our families are wonderful. They care for their parents really well, or their friends. The community of Falmouth is incredible when they visit Heritage, and it's just, you want to create a home, and
Sure.
I think we've done that really, really well.
Oh, nice. So is it all one-bedroom units?
We have studio, 1 bedroom, and 2 bedroom.
Oh, okay.
And within the unit, you will find a small kitchenette, 2-top burner, refrigerator, freezer, which is small, and a microwave. So you have all the conveniences of home within that unit, but then you go out and there's side sitting rooms. We have a fitness center. We have a pub that also features as our movie theater. We have large screen TVs on every floor. We have a library. We play pool. We have air hockey. So it's not just your apartment, the whole community. We have a beautiful country kitchen. Our families come in sometimes. They prepare meals. They have parties there. We have a private dining room that they reserve.
Right.
So there's just so many different areas.
Wow.
It's beautiful. The residents that live in our community, they have their own vegetable garden. They grow the vegetables, we cook them. So it's
Wow.
really nice.
That is great. Yeah.
It's just like being at home, but having the security of having people around you.
Right.
The friendships there are they're long lasting through life. You know, these people, they're just so close to each other and they develop such great friendships.
What's your average length of stay for people?
5 to 7 years.
Oh,
It's pretty
nice.
long,
Yeah.
yeah. The residents there, they say that it's just a wonderful place to live because it truly is being home. It's so small and so intimate. It
Yeah.
truly is being at home.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like your own little town there.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Even though it's
It
close, I mean,
truly
the
is.
location for viewers that may
truly
not
it
know,
is.
it's pretty close to downtown Falmouth
Yep.
too. So even though you're removed and it's peace and quiet up there, which is beautiful, whenever you have needs, all those things are nearby.
Right, and we go weekly trips into town.
Oh, you do?
So we do weekly trips into town where the residents can shop wherever they want to shop. We're out as long as they need us to be out. But say that a resident comes and says, you know, I need to go to town, we make that happen. That's just a part of what we can do as a small community.
Yeah.
As far as our programs and what we do for our residents, we have season tickets to Highfield Theater, so they go to theater every week in the summertime. We go to the movies. We go into the Museum of Science. We go to the Museum of Fine Arts.
Oh, so you have trips into Boston?
Yeah, we have trips into Boston. Whatever our residents want to do, that gets put on the calendar and we do
Do
it.
you go to baseball games?
We do.
Not this
We
year
do.
because they're not that good, but last year
We
it was
do.
probably really
Yeah,
popular, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's early, we can
Yeah.
still do this, yeah.
And the great thing about Heritage at Falmouth is the residents have a lot of say, or most of the say in what we do,
Oh,
what
really?
we eat, because we're so small.
Do they come to you and say,
Yep.
hey, would you put a trip together? I've been
Yep.
talking with some of my friends. Can you do blah, blah, blah?
Yep, and we do it. Yep. They want to do, this year we're starting art classes again. We went through a time where we did them,
Oh, yeah.
and then people weren't interested, and now our residents are interested again, so we're starting that again.
So do you bring an instructor in or do you go somewhere?
We bring
Oh, you
an instructor in. If they wanted to go somewhere, we would, but they like people to come to us. We do a book club. We buy the
Oh,
books.
good idea.
They
Yeah.
tell us what to buy. We buy them. They do their own book club. There's a lot that goes on there, but for us, the residents love the fact that they have all the say
Yeah,
in what we do.
it sounds like it.
Yeah, they do.
What kind of staff do you have
We
to
have-
make all this happen?
We have personal
Great
care
stuff.
attendants, so they do the personal care part of it if someone needs that. We have our nurses. We have 2 full-time programs people.
Oh, so is that activity director? Would that be the same kind of thing? Or
Well, they run the programs
Okay.
and I plan the programs. So my
Okay.
job is I have everything but the medical. So I plan everything, but we have the 2 full-time people to run those programs.
fun?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And we have wait staff. I have an executive chef. I mean, he's wonderful. I have another executive chef that's been there for almost 15 years.
Wow.
She's wonderful. We have wonderful staff.
So how would you use the executive chef if, say, I'm a resident and my family's visiting from out of state for a birthday, and we want to put a little birthday party together for 10 people?
Yep.
Then
We plan the
You can make
menu
that
with
happen?
them,
Oh, yeah.
and we make it happen. We do wine tastings with food pairings. There's so much that we do. We try to hit everything that the residents like.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
What's the most popular activity?
Bingo.
Really?
Bingo.
It's like
Yep.
gambling.
It's a serious
Is it gambling?
game.
I mean,
It
is it
is.
bragging rights, or you actually have real money?
Yeah. No, it's real money.
Real money. Nice.
Bingo is the most popular one.
Wow.
We have a freshwater aquarium. We have a saltwater aquarium.
Oh, yeah.
This year we had a resident say that she loved birds, so this year we integrated finches. So we really try to do what they want to make it their home.
Can people have pets?
No,
No.
no.
That would be a little crazy, probably.
We tried it.
We tried.
We did
Oh,
try.
yeah.
And we haven't succeeded. Somebody will tell you their dog doesn't bark, and and I've been like, okay, your dog doesn't bark, that's fine. The dog moves in and it starts barking, and it's disturbing to the other residents
yeah.
around.
Yeah.
So we tried really hard because we know how important pets
Yeah.
can be. But
We have pet therapy.
Oh,
So people
that's
bring
good.
their pets in,
Yeah.
and
So people who need a fix, but
yeah, the
Can't have
families
one
bring
there.
in the
Families.
pets. The families are great. The families come and stay overnight in the apartments.
oh,
I mean,
nice.
it's really their home.
It's really a
So, and it's just such an inviting place.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
So the assistance you need to stay independent. Now that's a phrase that you use.
Mm-hmm.
So what does that mean?
So, people come to assisted living and they don't have to think about cooking and they don't have to think about cleaning, because we do all of that. But say that someone,
I'm sitting here going,
I want to go live.
yeah, we do it all. But say that, someone's sick and they need help getting dressed or getting undressed. We have the people there to do that, to make that work for the resident. Sometimes people get sick. You get the flu, you get this, you get that. We have the staff there to help take care of you during those times. And then, of course, as you age, because everyone's going to age, we have the staff there to help you with the showers, to help you with your medicines. Our staff is there, and they're there to help.
right.
Yeah.
How is it different then from a skilled nursing facility? Is it
Skilled nursing does assessments, they monitor blood pressures, they adjust medications. They're very different.
a little more intensive on the medical
They're
side?
very intense about the
Okay.
medical side of it. That's what assisted living can't do. We can't assess and adjust. We can call a doctor, we can take a blood pressure.
Okay.
We can call a physician and we can say this is what the blood pressure is, and the physician can say this is what I want you to do, but the nurses can't make the assessment.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, that helps.
Yeah.
So do you find that people that are in the assisted living, in, as you had mentioned, maybe 5-7 years, and that's a good amount of time, do they transition then to skilled, or
They stay with
conceivably they
us.
can just be there until the end?
Yep, they can be with us till the end. As a member of Cape Cod Healthcare, they can use the palliative care, they can use the hospice services, so they can stay in their home until the end.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's really,
So it really is like having a smaller home.
Yep.
it is.
Yeah.
And they can add services, Jean, if a condition of a resident changes and they need more care. It's easy enough in our community to adjust upwards, change their service plan so that they get what they need.
Right.
And we constantly review what a resident needs, and we move quickly. Like Christine said, if you have to add a service for somebody who has a special need, that could be long-term or short-term, we have the resources that come in, the community support. The VNA is wonderful. They'll come in and assess and support our staff.
Sure.
And they
Yeah.
complement what we do.
They do.
So
So something like a resident has a knee replacement, comes back to their apartment, maybe they're not that mobile, so need a little physical therapy or additional nursing care. in their home, which is heritage, the VNA can then come in and make that happen, and they don't have to go anywhere.
Right, right.
It's their home. They access the same home care benefits as they would if they were living on Main Street, Falmouth.
Oh, yeah.
So it's covered under their insurances generally, and it's nice because it's in their home, and the providers come to them and reacclimate them. You know, that's a good example.
Yeah.
We've had people who've had an injury and have returned with the support services, and we've worked in tandem with the provider. We'll do this, you'll do that.
Oh, yeah.
They'll teach us how to do something for that resident to get that resident better. So it's a good program.
And they heal quicker
They do.
because they're
I
in their
bet.
home
Yeah.
and they're surrounded by people that know them. We know them the best.
Right.
So we're there to support just the recovery process
Yeah.
of what happens.
Eliminates all the stress of being someplace
Yeah.
different.
And gives the families, you know, families worry what's going to happen. It gives them such a sense of relief to know that they can come home and they heal better and they do better. Yep.
So now this is the part of the tricky part, is there's a fee that's involved. So is it like an apartment rental kind of fee that includes, or do you have a la carte
It's all-
services, or?
It's all inclusive. So it's
Okay.
inclusive of our services. It's inclusive
So
of,
you pay one fee, you get everything.
yep, you pay one fee, you get everything. And our fees start at $5,000 a month.
Okay.
And for the largest two-bedroom apartment, it's $6,900.
Okay.
And everything is in between that, depending on size and location of the
So-
apartment.
Okay.
Yep.
So is that a fairly competitive price if you compare yourself to other assisted livings, or for
Yeah.
viewers that might be shopping around?
Yes,
Yeah.
and very competitive because we're all inclusive.
Yeah.
It's very competitive.
So what comes with that then?
You have 45 minutes of personal care a day if you need it, and that includes your medications. You have your weekly housekeeping where we do the linens and the towels. You have your meals, your 3 meals a day, and you have your programs and activities. So it's all inclusive.
Wow. So the
Yeah.
3 meals a day, even though I have my own little kitchenette,
Yep.
is there a communal dining area?
There is.
And
There's-
that's included in that
Yep,
fee? Oh,
That's
okay.
included in that fee, and we have what we call a large dining room. It's small for a 56,
Yeah.
but we have a large dining room and then a smaller dining room, and we have dining hours that are, I mean, they're pretty extensive, so you come when you want, you sit wherever you want.
yeah.
And then we have a country kitchen that we have snacks in, people help themselves to that. We have nutritional snacks that aren't so nutritional. We have coffee maker, tea maker, and they can help themselves
Oh,
to
yeah.
that anytime they want. But we're so small that if someone didn't come to lunch and at 2 o'clock they said, I'd like a sandwich,
You make that
they're
happen.
going to get a sandwich.
All
Yeah.
right. How about licensing? You've overseen by somebody, I'm sure.
The state of Massachusetts has an arm that's called the Executive Office of Elder Affairs, and they certify assisted livings in our state. And they come in every 2 years and they look at your programs, they audit your resident records, your employee records, and they say you're doing okay. And if there are things that they interpret that we're not doing okay, they'll ask for a correction.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a good oversight and it's a good office to work with.
Yes.
They're supportive and they understand assisted living and the lifestyle versus
Right.
being in a skilled nursing center. So as Christine mentioned, we cannot do any skilled
Right.
care in assisted living.
Yeah.
And that differentiates us from say,
Some of the
J.
nursing
Care
home
Center or
kind
the
of, yeah.
nursing
Yeah.
homes.
Yeah.
You can bring it in, but our staff cannot do it.
Okay.
So they will look at that very carefully, and they look at how well the residents are cared for and how we carry out a service plan and render the services. They'll look at your training for the staff. So it's comprehensive.
Yeah. And you have a pretty good track record.
We do. The last
Very
time
good.
we had a perfect survey.
Oh, good.
So we're
Yeah,
proud of that,
congratulations.
and-
Yeah, you should
Thank
be.
you.
You know.
And they
Yeah.
talk to the residents.
Oh, do
'Cause
they
that's
interview
really
the residents?
Who
Yeah.
matters. The residents, are they happy? Are we delivering what the contract says we're going to deliver? So,
That's
and the
nice. So they get the
residents say
real
above
story.
and beyond,
Yeah.
above and beyond.
Do you have residents from all over?
Yes.
Or do they tend to come from the Falmouth area?
No, we have
No?
them from all over. We have residents that come with children that live in Falmouth. The physicians' parents are there. Maggie's parents are there.
Oh,
so we have
nice.
people from all over, all walks
Oh,
of
yeah.
life. Yeah, it's nice. It's a nice community.
Believe it or not, we have like less than 2 minutes.
Okay.
And so I just want to be sure that there isn't anything that we haven't talked about that you really would like viewers to know about Heritage. Sounds like a blast for one thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like, there's great activities and the food and the whole setup and a beautiful setting.
Yeah, it's a great community as you get older to come to. We love Heritage. We're passionate about it.
Yeah.
We're passionate about the people that live there, the families, and the staff that works there. And I would say if I was getting older, it would be a community that I would definitely look at.
So you're probably already lined up mentally, right?
Yeah.
You just go right from retiring from
selected
work
our
to moving into the
Yeah,
apartment.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, and we're open, we visit, we know that people who are making such an important decision on picking a place to live for their parent, for themselves, it involves visiting, it involves dropping in. We welcome that.
So would people need to make an appointment, or they can just, if they're out driving around, they can
Drop in.
stop in?
Yeah, that's the best thing to do. Drop in and talk
Great.
to the people that live there.
Great.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you both
Well,
for being
thank
here. I
you so
appreciate it.
much.
That was
Thank
great
you. Yeah.
information. Yeah,
It's nice
really
to be
good.
here, thank you.
Yeah, it was great.
Thank you.
And I'm Jean Sarnowski, wishing you good health and good health care.